How is it that getting a job can feel like the hardest thing in the world? Let's say you graduated from college and spent at best $24,999 bills getting an education. You woke up at 7 a.m. Mondays and Wednesdays to sit in seat 36C Auditorium 2 for 4 years straight, learning about cost of goods sold, supply versus demand, and computing net profits. Yay. So how come people like us have the hardest time finding a job other than working at Susie's ice cream parlor? You know, the one with the blue awning? All the employees have to wear that goofy looking hat? Yeah, I don't want to work there. So we just start hoping someone at one of those real jobs will hire one of us as a bottom feeder. I'm not here to hoodwink you, catch you with some catchy clickbait like everybody else, or sell you anything. I want to explain one concept so you never have to feel like this again. There are 3 ways to get a job regardless of how old, educated, or experienced you are. Number 1, easiest way, peasiest way. Use one of these job sites. We got ZipRecruiter, we got Indeed, we got Career Builder, we got LinkedIn, we got Glassdoor, we got Google for Jobs, Craigslist. The list goes on. The poet Robert Voss said, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. This road is the road most traveled by. 95% of people who are looking for a job get one on these sites. 95%. Way to get a job number 2, Lucky Ducky. The other 4% of people either hung around the right people or their mom or dad owns a business and hires you to run it for them. So you're either born into it or you're savvy enough to have quality connections. 4% of people look for a job and do it this way. Way number 3, best so I'm sending you on a quest. Yes, I know that was cheesy. The way nobody teaches you. It's why only the remaining 1% of people do it. The third way is to wear your best outfit, button down, slacks, a business skirt if you're a girl, nice jacket if you have one, polish your shoes, and stand at the door of the job you deserve. And then tell them why they should buy you. It's called door knocking. And yes, what you're selling is yourself. This is exactly what Bill Gates did when he went to sell his first piece of software. The owner of Pixar, creator of Toy Story and Nemo, did when he was disrupting the industry. And no one wanted to hear what he had to offer, so he flew across the country for a job interview. How Steven Spielberg got into Universal and grew to direct some of the most iconic films. Do you think J.K. Rowling found a publisher for Harry Potter on ZipRecruiter? No. She got rejected by 12 different publishing offices before someone finally accepted her manuscript. Let me explain how to do this so you can go in confident and ready to win. The first thing is to change your mindset. You must have the idea that any problem has a solution. Business owners love problem solvers. Why? Obvious. Every business needs solutions. And once you get your job, keep being a problem solver versus a problem pointer outer to get your next promotion. Okay, so where do you start if it appears no one is hiring? Go on Google Maps and find the city where you want to work and look for companies you might be interested in. Make sure you're zoomed in enough so Google is labeling every business on the map. Take your time. I promise you will find small businesses you've always overlooked. And you may not want to work for a small business because they don't have the growth opportunity or the prestige. And that's what I thought too. I didn't want to work for a small business until I heard Gary Vee talk about real college. Take a look.
I really want to get into college, right?
Why?
To get a job so I can have a foundation.
First of all, you're going to collect debt. And unless you go to a top 5% school, the jobs that are available to you on the back end of that are garbage. I think the biggest thing that a kid with this much hard luck needs to think about is, can you attach yourself to a good situation where you pay your dues to build a foundation? You already ate dirt because of your family situation. Eat dirt for 3 more years being somebody's assistant. Get into the ecosystem of real college, of entrepreneurship, which is being close to somebody who's doing it. And then if she or he sees that you've got it, you'll win.
Okay.
That's the biggest piece of advice I could give to a kid that's got a situation?
He said the best thing any 18 to 23-year-old could do is to get into the ecosystem of real college, which is being close to someone who's doing it. And if that person sees you've got it, you win. The whole point of door knocking these businesses is to really just enter the ecosystem. And I'm telling you, the secret doors are the small businesses. All right, back to the map. Write a list of possible places you'd like to work. 10 is a great starting point. Boom, there you have it, 10 potential job opportunities. Now we're gonna research. Pull up a Word document and write out all of the information you can about each company's values, what their products are, names of their bosses, assistants, what it's like to work there, customer reviews, and maybe even financial statements if you can find them. Anything you find online about that company, put it in a Word document. Out of all the information you've gathered for each company, find what is one thing they can improve upon. Here are some examples. Is their marketing strategy targeting a niche? Are they losing money and do they need to reallocate funds? How can the top 90% of negative customer reviews be prevented? How is the employee retention? How can you improve it? How can the company negate 20% of the clients who produce 80% of the problems? How can a company streamline systems? If you're thinking this sounds just way too advanced, out of my league, stop watching this video. I don't care, seriously. This is where you have to be a problem solver. You even have the advantage because you're looking from an outside perspective. It'll be much easier for you to spot solutions looking from the outside of a box rather than someone who's inside the box. You can also ask yourself, how can you strengthen their strengths? How can you use your passions to help the company? Which of their business divisions would you fit in best? How can you bring excitement and enthusiasm? 85% of people are unhappy with their jobs, by the way. Solve this problem for one company and they'll love you for the rest of their days. You will have something of value to bring to the table. I'm telling you, you just need to find it. And it will be most likely a collection of things. You will have to get creative. So open up your mind and remember why you're doing this. Because you don't want to work at Susie's ice cream parlor and wear those terrible looking hats. When you come up with ideas, don't discount yourself. That's a poor man's thought. And if you're thinking, Banner, I'm just not qualified, you're probably right. But you should never be afraid to do something you aren't qualified to do. Let me ask you, when you were a baby, did your 2-year-old self have years of experience trotting around in a dirty diaper? Enough experience for a 2-page narrow margin resume that makes you qualified to do anything in life? What makes someone qualified to post their YouTube video or write their first line of code or apply for their dream job? If I only did what I was qualified to do, I'd be out taking trash somewhere and mopping floors. Casey Neistat said, do what you can. So now you have a list of 10 businesses and multiple ways you can bring value to each one. Now we need an action plan. Things you'll need: nice clothes. Always overdress if you're unsure. The next thing you'll need is a resume in a fancy little binder too. And you'll also need words to come out of your mouth. Formulate bullet points you want to cover as to how you bring value and why they should hire you. The next thing you'll need: an attitude. No, I'm not saying that you need to go in with an attitude. Just have the right attitude. Judge the setting. In an attorney's office, professionalism would be better. But if you're applying for a surfing instructor position, hey, hang loose, ride the party wave, and feel the juice. So gauge whether you should be more professional or loose or a combination of both. Always be confident, keep good eye contact, smile, be respectful, and passionate about how you can help. An employer will hire you for one reason and one reason only. They believe that eventually you will raise profits. That might be in the short term, joining a sales team, or by maybe taking you under the wing and teaching you the ropes. People will also respect those who are bold and attempt to make something on their own or stand out. So I'm telling you, you'd be surprised as to who would be willing to help you out, to help you learn, mentor you, as long as you remain coachable and positive. Remember, your goal is to enter the ecosystem. So show them they should want you and that you want them and only them. They will know that you've got it because you understand meeting in person does everything a piece of paper can't. A resume can't show passion, excitement, a face, a smile. talk back and respond. It can't do any of that. If you go in and they hit you with the, please just use our online portal, don't be afraid to be a bit pushy. And here's why. When communicating, people comprehend you 7% based on the words, 38% based on the tone of voice, and 55% on body language and face. With just a resume, you're losing out on 93% of the way humans interact. That's absurd. It's bonkers. It's cuckoo, wowzer, mad, nuts. And as long as you don't smoke a joint in front of the boss, fall asleep, or dress up like it's Halloween, you've already increased your chances of getting that job. Also, don't be afraid to tell them the comprehension fact. Most people will be too surprised to say no to a follow-up in-person interview. It's polite boldness and people respect it. If anyone ever asks you why you decided to come in person and door knock them, say this. I know it seems silly, maybe even a bit too forward for me to come in here and ask for a position on the team, so I'm sorry, but I still wanted to come to you and let you know of the many ways I think having me around can really help you with X. And again, I'm so sorry to even to do this. I'm sure your plate is full, but I just couldn't let this opportunity slip past me. Memorize that puppy and you'll be good to go. And if you have a little bit of doubt, I also guarantee you that there's some Jerry, I'm sorry if your name's Jerry by the way, who's working there, making a mess, coming in late, and riding other people's coattails. Your enthusiasm is going to be more valuable to the employer than keeping Jerry around if it actually comes to that. Underdogs win with their passion and their enthusiasm. Everybody knows that. Ask any athlete, ask any leader, ask any business owner. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, said, I will not let anything get in the way of me and my competitive enthusiasm to win. And if you get rejected from a door knock, wonderful. It's called failing forward. You've learned and you've calloused a bit, and you know what not to do next time you door knock. Also, don't disregard a no as a hard no. Connections are always valuable. Remember I said people respect polite boldness? Sometimes businesses just can't afford a new hire, but they will respect your tenacity and maybe even call you back in the next 3 months, hook you up with somebody else, or become a valuable alliance in the business world for the future. I'm telling you this because this is the best way to get a job. If you decide to do this, you gotta comment what happened and any tips that helped you get that job. Everybody is in sales. Don't sell the way 99% of everybody else does. Be different, and until Monday, be good.
I know is not enough.